Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. I am your host, your purveyor of all things dorky within the scope of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. I am Grumm, and I am having a good time. It's November. We're chilling. We're mid-November. We're about to be mid-November. We're a couple days shy of mid-November, but actually we're about a week shy. Now that I think about it, as you're listening to this, hello, or maybe you're listening to this and it's either way. I'm dating the podcast. Either way, we're having a good time here on the Dork Side of the Ring. We are about to cross 20 episodes, I believe, with this episode. This is episode 20. And that, my friends, is worth celebrating. That's a lot of episodes. That's a lot of podcasts to listen to. That's a lot of content for you, the listener. That's 40 hours. And we'll break it down. Anyway, I'm not going to go that far, but we got ourselves a fun episode today. If you're listening to this the week it is dropped, I want to let you know that we are just a short amount of days. We are weeks, less than 3 weeks away from the start of Grummas over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/tgrum, grum.tv, if you're more apropos. That is going on soon, so be ready. It's good. If you're listening to this on Patreon, hey, you already know everything that's going on because I've been updating my patrons with what's going on very easily and updating what I do monthly, and I want to do a video format of that, but I also want to there's stuff I got to be doing, but we are good to go for this week's episode. This episode is about, as you can tell, well, maybe you can't tell, because it's kind of vague. It is Vince McMahon in the hospital. That's the title of this week's episode, with Cheesewiz and Lukar, my two friends. Maybe you know what this is about. Maybe you heard what it's about. But this is the infamous hospital visit for one Vincent J. McMahon, that results in some of the more iconic imagery in the WWE that has happened. Vince McMahon having his broken foot smashed by Stone Cold Steve Austin, the bedpan making the perfect bonk noise, and Mr. Sacco, Yerple the Clown. Good times, fun chat. We actually have a live taste test of the Reese's holiday shaped things that Cheese has never had, so that's a fun one. I've known Cheese and Lukar for fucking over 4 years, almost 5 years now. I've known them since 2017. That's wild to think about. That they're some of my oldest, longest friends from Twitch, from creating content, and it is good to have them on. You can, I think, listening back to this, you can definitely hear that we're just like we're old friends that just do nonsense. It is good though. It is a good time. So I hope you enjoy this week's episode, and we will get right away. Also, reminder, if you don't already, follow us on Twitter. Go to Twitter right now, at DorksideRing. That's DorkSideRing. DorksideRing, Twitter and Instagram. And check out the Patreon. If you go to support.grum.tv, check out the Patreon. Give it a look through. For $1, you can support me for $1. You can support me for $5 if you're doing that on Twitch. If you're somebody who listens to me, watches my streams on Twitch, but you also listen to Dork Side of the Rings, and you're subbing to me on Twitch, I'm not going to be on Twitch. Your money is going to be going to Twitch and not to me by the end of the next month. So cancel your subscription now. Cancel it now so that it goes through for the month, and then you're good to go. Or cancel it the first of the month. Cancel it. Your subscription. You go to, and you can take that money and put it on the Patreon. You get all the fun stuff, including, Discord streams. And if you want to join the Discord, join.grum.tv is the way you can do it. And let's do this, right? Me, Cheesewiz, Lukar, talking about Vince McMahon in the hospital. It is a good one. So sit down, enjoy as we enter the Dork Side of the Ring here on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast.
I have to wear pants.
Do I get free drink coupons for my next flight?
To the pants, that's an easy. You don't have to wear pants if you don't want to be. If you're not wearing pants, you don't have to put pants on. We're not
okay. Can I
they're
keep the free the free shampoo?
Yes, you got that courtesy. You guys both got the free Dorkside shampoo, right?
I didn't. No, I didn't get that.
Oh, you didn't get.
Oh, you didn't get that?
You
I'm
know
not
what?
sharing.
To be fair, I did send it ahead of time because I figured international shipping might be an issue. I also
more important.
Well, no, it's just more of a hassle, so I sent it. You'll get it tomorrow, hopefully, Lukar.
You know I'd complain.
But yes, you will get a free coupon, a drink coupon for your next flight, whenever that may be. I guess
it was yesterday. So,
well,
you flew yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh,
are your arms tired?
No, but my left pinky toe is.
What?
Crash landing.
Oh, I stubbed it on the top of a building, and
yeah, no, understandable. That is unfortunate as well.
I mean, it could be looked at as like fortunate though, because like it was just pinky toe.
It was my favorite one.
Yeah, it's just right.
You have two?
You don't?
Wait, you have two?
What?
Wait, yeah,
you have two?
Wait, you guys don't have two pinky toes?
No,
I have like 16.
I have one favorite.
What? The fuck?
Welcome to the rest of this show.
It's a good thing I was recording that whole thing. So we're I don't know when we're gonna bring it in from, but I don't know whether the fact that I'm the last Grumm standing or that we're here on the dork side with my two friends. We go alphabetically here. Therefore, Cheesewiz.
Ooh, me first.
You're first. Let the people know where they can find you, what you're about, and all that promotional nonsense.
So you know those tubes that go into your computer? You just got to follow those, and you'll eventually find me in the internets over there. Probably somewhere at like Cheesewiz, cheese and then WIZ. No, I'm not a wizard. That's what a lot of people think. But I tried to go to Hogwarts, but I never got my letter, man. That's the worst day of my life, honestly. What is it, 10 years old? I think when you turn 10?
10.
Right?
Yeah, because...
Honestly, that was like the saddest day of my life, I swear to God. Oh, wait. Are we allowed to swear? Are we
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Dude, it's my...
Just making sure.
I've said it. It hasn't made air as we're recording, but I did an episode with Mop and It's Only Jill, and they didn't realize halfway through that they could curse until I started cursing, like a lot. And they're like, wait, we could curse this whole time? I'm like, yeah. They're like, can we talk about like adult stuff? I was like, yeah, why? And then they're like, I'm surprised that guy's dick didn't fall out of his trunk. So I'm like, I did not expect that. All right.
So what you're saying is the first half of that will be monetized and the second half will not.
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's all monetized now.
I've already ruined all of it for you. So.
No, this is true. All right, so Cheese, they can find you on the internet, but specifically, if they don't understand international traveling, tube traveling, how could they find you if they're like a normal human being?
Well, I'm moving soon, so like I don't want them showing up to my current house. That wouldn't work.
Where specifically on the internet? Yes,
I'm a Twitch streamer. That's what I do. Twitch.tv/Cheesewiz, cheese WIZ. Yes, I'm Canadian. Yes, it's said. Full-time streamer on Twitch. Twitter X Cheesewiz. Yes, because I'm hardcore. And I'm also working on this really cool site with my friend Chef Has Teeth. SoonTM.com if you want to check out, if you like video games, if you want to know when they come out. It's a calendar for video games. Good place to keep track of them and browse the new ones coming out too.
There we go. SoonTM.com, Cheesewiz on the X Cheesewiz on Twitter, and Twitch.tv/Cheesewiz. Not Cheesewiz Streams. That was an alter ego, formerly known as.
Just wait till we get to Luke.
I know. I can't wait. Boy. And our other guest today, another friend, a man who I have swapped sweatshirts with, the first time really meeting him. I swapped shirts, And since then, it's been a friendship where we take steps and steps. Mine, although, are a little bit longer because I'm taller. We both drop numbers from our names. Formerly Lukar 14. Lukar, my friend, how you doing? Welcome to the Dork Side of the Ring.
Hello, it is I.
Where can the people find you, bud?
I live on the ethereal plane above humanity.
This is great. This is gonna be the longest. This is gonna be the longest pre-watch, and I can't wait. This is great. This is good. This is what I want. So you the ethereal plane above us, yes. So you just look down on humanity.
Yes.
I mean, in a more literal sense than I do.
Yes.
Yes.
And yes. And also, yes.
Yes. Yes.
As he's the shortest one here.
Yeah.
He's trying to make up for something.
Look, he's on
feeble eyesight.
His physical form is shorter than us, but the ethereal form is incredibly higher than ours. You're not. I mean, you're not really streaming, but you kind of are. But you kind of aren't.
When I feel like it.
Yeah, when you feel like it. Any other plugs of any kind you would like?
He probably needs to plug up his bathwater again. That was pretty nasty last time.
Yeah, last time I sold that, it went pretty quick.
That's good. Well, it should. You're a handsome man.
Yeah, I heard some dude, he sent me a message and said that he used it to boil his pasta, and I told him I didn't recommend that, but...
Did you boil your water before you packaging it? That might have been why. It would have saved him time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just some extra fiber in there.
You just gotta, a little extra, little extra tang on the taste, you know.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like their?
So yeah, Twitter, it's Twitter and Instagram is Lukar14. Still have the numbers on there. Twitch is just Lukar, and then I am also a photographer, and that is on Instagram L Nadu Photo. That's LNADEAU Photo on Instagram.
Yeah, my man Lukar, excellent. He is a sharpshooter with a cannon in his hand.
But I use a Sony.
Yeah, he uses Sony. I was gonna say.
Look, it made sense because cannons are weapons, and the fact that you have a cannon in your hand. Whew.
Are we playing Bloodborne now? Is that where
maybe? I don't know. I have PlayStation now on the PC, so I'm like, I keep staring at it every time I go to play like Sly Cooper. Just nice, yeah. I'm like, not now, Bloodborne, but soon. You'll have your day. Soon. So, as you guys know, I'm a big wrestling fan. But what I don't know, well, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. I know vaguely, but for those listening who have no idea, Lukar, we'll start with you. What's your experience with professional wrestling?
I have dabbled. My friends that I've grown up with, like in high school and everything, they are large professional wrestling fans. I was gonna say bi-weekly, but actually they multiple times a week will watch AEW or, not so much WWE anymore because apparently the WWE is kind of been having issues. So I've heard. I'm not super in the loop, but they watched AEW the other day. They're big wrestling fans. We watched the return of Daniel Bryant. I did like CM Punk back in the day. We've had parties to watch like pay-per-views, like for the Undertaker's last match and stuff, and so I've dabbled.
All right, that's
not super knowledgeable though.
Not super knowledgeable, but dabbling nonetheless is nice, because it's good. It gives you a background for what we're gonna, if you like. I've said this every time. Like somebody's like, "Do I need to know anything?" It's like, no, you don't. Like the whole point of this is for people who don't know anything about wrestling to be able to like know these weird and wacky and embarrassing things about professional wrestling without basically being told like, you gotta know what's going on, and it's like you don't. We're going to do that. We'll do a nice little rundown, and we'll laugh along the way. Really, if you're just into people having fun and laughing at dumb things, that's what we're here. But knowing some of the people or having an understanding of professional wrestling helps, even if you haven't seen the thing in particular, because you have a little bit more reference to be like, oh, that guy did that thing? That's embarrassing.
I know a botch when I see one.
Oh, ooh, a little lingo,
A little lingo. I know
all
a
right.
botch.
All right. Okay. Surprise.
I know a good heel turn when I see one.
Oh, all right. Okay. No, it's not prevalent to what we're talking. I was going to say.
I don't see John Cena because you can't see him.
This is true. You can't see him.
And I am not a jabroni.
Interesting.
I might be. We'll see.
I don't know. No one ever really knows, right? Like whether or not they're actually a jabroni. I might be a jabroni. Who I can tell you right now is not a jabroni is Cheesewiz. Cheesewiz, my friend, what is your experience with the professional wrestling?
I live in Canada. We barely get TV up here. Like usually I'm just staring at the wall and watching the ice melt up here. So that's our entertainment. So I don't know what you guys do down there in the crazy lands of the Americas.
So no wrestling at all. Not. Does the name Bret Hart
no,
not even?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched bits and pieces here and there, but to be honest, I don't really know what the exposure here is in Canada. Like none of my friends, none of my family, mostly it's when I go down the US. You know, it's like college football, wrestling, and
NASCAR.
Yeah, no, not that much NASCAR. That's further south than I usually go.
Fair, that's fair.
But no, whenever I go to the US, for sure I'll, go to a hotel and flip on the TV and watch some wrestling and stuff, for sure. I mean, I guess my biggest exposure to wrestling is movies or documentaries and stuff around it, as opposed to actually watching it, because it's such an interesting just phenomena. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's really cool to kind of see the ins and outs, but I've never been particularly invested in it, and I've never really been particularly exposed to it. So I'm excited for this.
Okay, good. I like that. I find that like it's funny because like Bret Hart is a Canadian national icon, like not a treasure icon. Like he is because when wrestling was big. Like at the highest in terms of it being acceptable to like professional wrestling and the talk and basically being like, wow, like this is awesome. Bret Hart was kind of at the start of it because he was anti-American but pro-Canadian, and like he would be like, Canada is the greatest country. America is not the greatest country. Canada is, and like it was just they did it. We
got toques. So we're pretty up there, eh? Yeah. Yeah.
But like his whole family, like it was a big like his dad ran Stampede Wrestling out in Calgary, and they had connections throughout all of Canada, and like Bret Hart was the guy. He became the guy in WWE, and it's just I think he might be the first Canadian where I'm like, hey, do you know the name Bret Hart? And they're like, I recognize it. I know it's wrestling. I just don't, I'm like, oh, okay. So like I think that might be the first where it's like, hey, do you know Bret Hart? And it's like, nope, not at all.
Nope. Does not ring a bell.
But yeah, like, I don't know. I think I think it's interesting because like we're all around the same age and we all kind of started like the time where as a child you would start watching professional wrestling is like 7 to 10. And that was like at the end-ish of like the Attitude Era, but then when you become like really conscious about I'm gonna follow, I'll be able to stay up and watch the TV show at at 8 o'clock or at 9 o'clock, and that's around like 12, 13. At least it was for me. So I don't know if you had an earlier bedtime or later bedtime. Maybe you could have been watching at 5. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think my first experience was really until like probably high school, because I didn't really I wasn't into wrestling when I was a kid. I'd probably seen like bits and pieces, but like I feel like a lot of my friends like had older siblings that were into it. My older brother was not. He was much more a video game guy, which is probably why I'm much more a video game guy than anything else. But like my dad,
Anime.
neither
Come on,
he
let's be
yeah,
serious.
anime. I
Come
mean,
on.
no, even anime. That wasn't until like anime wasn't even until like after high school. Really,
Wait,
like I
really?
didn't. Yeah, I didn't really start
Wow.
watching anime until after high school.
And now you
And
can't
like,
put it down.
yeah, now I'm a weeb. But like wrestling wasn't until probably like late high school when I would go to like friends' houses and they would have like pay-per-views rented. Like, and even then, like, it was rarely that I would go. I mean, now, like, because Discord, especially because of the pandemic and everything, it's just easier just to like, someone rents it and we watch it all on Discord together. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like I think the last, I know we watched AEW the other day, but I mean, even for like the past year and a half, like while they were doing their like no audience stuff, like we watched a lot of that too. So
yeah, that's that's for me. Like the last year has been like hosting pay-per-view events in various Discords. Just did it last night in mine. Although the Peacock app tried to stop me, but I can't be stopped. I can't be stopped. I know what I'm doing, except I don't, and I just don't want to get caught. So, anyways, but yeah, before I incriminate myself anymore, the idea though of like I just find it interesting that like you were like, yeah, I just like video games because like I feel like the wrestling fandom it has like very same tenets of like video games and like the overlap between anime fans and wrestling fans is embarrassingly high. And I say embarrassingly high because it's like the bad kind of anime fans, like the anime fans who will defend really problematic shit because they can behind a anime avatar, but also like that's just kind of how like wrestling is just historically problematic. Like we're still dealing with, you know, the state of wrestling is not where it should be. I mean, we're still having conversations today, like to this day, about like, oh hey, AEW doesn't have any, you know, black wrestlers that matter, but they have every other like ethnicity and sexual orientation is represented except black like wrestlers, and it shows in like their audience is like, you know, very similar. But like I just find it funny, like because like me, I got into like my first experience into wrestling was like at 5 watching the Undertaker be thrown off of a ring or off a Hell in a Cell. But then I didn't watch wrestling for another couple of years because I just couldn't stay up. I wasn't allowed to stay up or allowed to watch it for one reason or the other. And like in that time, I enjoyed, you know, video games or, you know, or also started watching like Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Digimon, like the very popular and socially acceptable animes. So it's just like it's interesting that the Venn diagram isn't a flat circle. Isn't like in your case isn't a circle. Like you were like, I'm going to do video games, and now I'm going to go into you know now I'll start watching anime and wrestling. I know about it,
right?
You know, but I just think it's like because you know it's a part of like that nerd culture of like. You like video games? That's your that's your personality trait. It's like, no, that's my hobby. But like, okay, go
I
on.
am a video game.
I mean, for me, that's kind of what it is, dude. Like, I make a living playing and breathing and knowing video game stuff. So you know, that definitely fits. That definitely fits me, which is kind of funny.
But it's like it's not like it like it does, but it doesn't, right? Because like your whole identity isn't the video game. It's that you used video games as a vehicle for content, for making money, to live, and connecting.
Sure.
Like it's where it's the people who are just like I you know like every
it's a very
fandom.
shallow. It's a very shallow thing, right?
Yeah,
to think that sort of thing about anything,
Correct.
whether it be wrestling, video games, anime, whatever you're into, NASCAR, whatever it is,
like,
whatever you're into.
People will. There was a guy who went kind of viral because he attended a wrestling event, a WWE event, like when they first had fans back, and he's got the championship belt. He's rocking a Roman Reigns T-shirt, and he's in the front row telling people to acknowledge the tribal chief. Like, you acknowledge him. That's your universal champ. Acknowledge him. And people are like, why is he so mad? And like, it warmed my heart to see people be like, he just looks like he's having a good time at a wrestling show. What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, I'm like,
right?
and people who aren't wrestling fans saying this. And I'm like, man, we've come a long way. Now, if only we could get them to like shower, like and wear deodorant in wrestling events, that'd be great.
That's an important thing. That's like a baseline thing for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that wrestling and anime and video games, like those interests. That's the one.
Twitch guns, man. Oof.
Just stink. Just, like literally stink with a smell. It's not good. But speaking of stink, sometimes it stinks to go to the hospital. That's what we call in the business a hell of a segue. But it does. It like, I don't know about, like, I went like every other year from like ages 3 to 11. I had like gone to the hospital for one reason or the other. Stepped on a rusty nail, split my head open, split my arm open. Had an infection. Like, I had to go to the hospital and get worked on. What about you guys? Are there bad, like, not bad necessarily, but just like notable visits to the hospital as a youth?
I've been generally healthy, and like I don't typically do things that would constitute me getting injured. I would say the last time I probably like hurt myself significantly enough to constitute going to the hospital when I was like 2 years old and split my head open and had to get stitches. But like. Now, I mean, I'm ashamed to admit this. I just went to the doctor for the first time like a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
For the first time in like probably like 15 plus years.
Whoa,
like, yeah.
damn, yeah.
And that's just because I was like, you know what? I probably should get a general checkup because I'm not a young man anymore. Like,
yeah. I'm in a
I
similar.
mean, I've had a tooth pulled, but
that's a different episode that we talked about dentistry. Wrestling is a weird history with the medical professions. I mean, AEW's got Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, who's a practicing dentist, which is just wild to me. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna also beat the shit out of my body while also pulling the teeth out of people. What about you, Cheese? You got any childhood visits to the hospital?
Oh yeah, baby, I got quite a few. All right, well, how old was I? I think it was about.
The year was 1743.
The first time, actually, I almost died when I was 1 year old.
Oh boy!
Because I was choking on a piece of apple, and it was lodged in my throat, and I couldn't breathe when I was about 1 year old. So they actually, they drove me to the hospital, and were like, I went right into emergency, and they were about to actually cut my neck open to take this piece of apple out, and then I just coughed it up.
Wow. And then the young man never ate an apple again.
As I was getting into surgery. So that was, I mean, I don't remember that, of course. I was really small.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that, though? That probably costs you nothing, but here in America,
Lunk,
that's about $600,000.
I was just thinking the same thing of
I wasn't gonna say anything. I was thinking about it. I was like,
yeah.
Well, for me, going to the hospital is just like, I'm just gonna go to the hospital. It's let me clear some stuff up. The lines in a general hospital are not crazy in Canada. Like, yeah, they can be kind of long sometimes, but no, like a lot of time, if you really need something, you go to hospital, you're good to go. Maybe wait, like, I don't know, depending on how bad it is. Like I had a really bad like infection on my eyelid for a while, and I waited for like 2 hours to see a doctor, get some stuff, and then they operated that day. So like, it's not too bad, but yes, no, it's very nice being like, oh shit, I hurt myself bad. I should go to the hospital. Oh wait, I don't have to like mortgage my house to be able to do that kind of thing. It is very, very like it. I don't know. It's you collect so many things in life, right? Not to get too philosophical, but you collect so
There you
many
go.
things in life and worries and this thing and that thing and girlfriends and boyfriends and like can I afford this thing and what about that and my job and just having like your health not be a huge worry if you can afford to be unhealthy, is it's really nice. It's really
Yeah,
nice. It's not
I couldn't
perfect,
afford to go to
but
the hospital, so
yeah.
Yeah. I was definitely not helping my mom's case as a single parent going to the hospital every 2 years. Like I was just I was reckless as a child. I would say, not. I guess not, because like really the stories of me, like oh yeah, I got like I said, I had a rusty nail. I stepped on a rusty nail. I was walking across like some old plywood in my backyard. Like I guess it's kind
reckless.
of at like 5. I guess it's not really reckless because you're 5 years old. That like 9 years old. I rode down a hill on my bike after it rained, and my slid. I went to turn, and my bike went out from underneath me, and I slid across the pavement. Like I don't know. Like wouldn't say I'm
That
reckless.
road rash, man. That road rash.
Well, it literally ripped my arm open. Like I could see my muscle, and I thought that was bad. And I was like, "That's not
You
good."
thought that was bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Thankfully-
good. That's
thankfully,
good. That means your brain was working.
Yeah, thankfully the doctors agreed.
You have a scar from this? I haven't seen
Yeah,
this. You have
yeah.
a scar?
It's on my left arm. It's
Oh,
not
shit.
it's not too noticeable nowadays because like between all the hair and the freckles and fat on my arm,
It's just a collage, you know?
It's like
It's just
really.
yeah.
But no, like the idea of like I'm sitting there like you were like yeah no I almost died, and my brain was just like I guess an apple a day doesn't keep the doctor away, huh? Like well,
I love apples. I eat apples all the time. So
even after they tried to kill you, you're a forging man,
Well,
Cheese.
technically, I was trying to kill it. It was just hitting me back, It's like
that's fair.
I ain't going down without a fight.
No, I'm just
But I
envisioning.
won that fight.
I'm envisioning this apple slice, like just put his arm, like starfishing on the back of your throat to be like, no, I'm not going anywhere.
I will not be in a poopy diaper. I swear, I will not be in a poopy diaber. Well,
I've heard stories, damn it.
Popped it back up, so I don't know. Maybe it won. Depends how you look at it.
Yeah, maybe. What about any other trips to the old hospital?
Yeah, quick fire. I mean, I had some road rash too.
Okay.
I have 2 quick skateboarding ones. I'm a big snowboarder. I used to be a big skateboarder. I like to do wakeboarding. I like doing all. One time I was skateboarding, my mom was like, "Take a helmet with you." I was like, "I don't want to take a helmet with me." So I went out and did some skateboarding. I had my pads and stuff on. There's this little tiny road that's like just a one little section. It's really steep, and it's I don't know, like 100 meters long, or whatever. So it's pretty short, pretty fast, and it's a dead end. And I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna take my skateboard. I'm gonna go down the sidewalk, and I'm like, a little adventurous. I'm like, I don't know, like 10. No, maybe like 8 or so years old. Just going down the skateboard, just down the sidewalk, dunk, 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 as you're going down. The trucks and the wheels in the sections in between, and you're starting to pick up speed, and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm starting to go a little bit faster. Get a little bit worried. You're like, okay, I'm not a professional skateboarder. What do I need to do? I start to see these vines. These vines on the side next to this fence, and I'm kind of tugging at them as I go by to kind of slow myself down. And then I tug real quick because I'm going fast, and I get boom flung off my skateboard. I land on both my elbows and my knees, slide, get that good slide going, and then flip over on my back and slide a little bit there too. And I just remember being in a daze and looking around, and this old lady actually across the street saw this all happen, ran out with this wonderful white towel as I'm like bleeding road rash on my elbows and knees in a daze. Just I don't think I was crying or anything. I was just like, well, this sucks. And she's running over and patting down all this blood and this white towel and stuff. And I'm like, thank you. It hurt, don't get me wrong, but I think I was in a little bit of shock from it all.
Yeah.
I don't think I have scars that much from those anymore, but
And that was a hospital trip?
No, that was not hospital trip.
Oh,
This
okay.
next one was though another skateboarding one. I'm going down a 3 set of stairs, or actually no, it was about 5 set of stairs. And this is in high school, so it was about what, like 15 or so, something like that, 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, big skateboarder, lots of fun with friends, going down like a 5 set, just trying to get my ollies. Just if you know what that is, basically your basic jump with the skateboard, trying to clear the 5 stairs. And there's this little ledge right before the steps, because the step itself is kind of like it's a slab of rock, but there's this little kind of ledge right before it, and my front trucks hit it. I don't know, a couple tries into it, and I went flying forward, and this was probably the worst injury I've ever had. I landed and I rolled my ankle. Okay, but not did I just roll my ankle. I literally ripped all the tendons in the side of my foot completely in half, landing on it. That took 9 months to get to like full capacity back, and it was just I was in a cast, and it hurt so, like, breaking bones heal way faster than tendons, but like it was just brutal. It was just it was so brutal. And
Ugh.
I was just lying there just in absolute pain. Like, I didn't know I ripped it. I knew I sprained it bad. I've rolled my ankles quite a few times. I had another one. I was playing tetherball in flip flops, and I chipped a bone in my freaking ankle because I rolled it. Anyways, back to the skateboarding one. People are like, okay, I've hurt myself a few times here. No, knock on wood, no, I've never broken a bone. I've chipped a bone, but never broken a bone. But this one, yeah. A friend was walking by. Actually, here's the thing. He wasn't really my friend. Shoutouts to him. We weren't really like that close or anything. And I actually thought he hated me, but he came up and he was super nice. He was like, dude, are you okay? And I was just like, no, I'm sure we'll be fine, as I'm rocking back and forth and like agonizing pain. And he's like, dude, let me get on the skateboard. Let me push you home. So he actually pushed me on the skateboard home. And then, yeah, I went to hospital and this kind of stuff. We got checked out. It was, yeah. Yeah. So shout outs to that guy. Shout outs to Nathan, for helping me. But yeah.
That guy was a brutal one. He wasn't my friend or anything. I actually thought he didn't like me, but he pushed me home.
That was straight up. Straight up. It was like one of those moments where you're like, oh shit, humans are nice. And wow. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Maybe that guy.
Thanks for being a bro.
Maybe he does still hate me. He just is at least a nice person who hates me, which now makes me think: am I a bad person? Am I bad vibes?
Yeah, no, for sure. Exactly. No, it was a double whammy lesson that day. No, for sure, it really was. Yeah, that was maybe one of my worst injuries for sure. That that was nasty.
Like, I've rolled my ankle countless times. Never to the point of like tearing fucking tendons and muscles in my ugh.
Yeah.
No. I mean, maybe I have, and I just haven't noticed it because I'm just a dumb animal. But I'm pretty sure I would have noticed.
I stepped on a Lego once.
What? That hurt. That's reckless too. Like that shit. No. Can you imagine if the American medical systems provided insurance for stepping on like injuries caused by stepping on Legos?
They should.
Because it's not just stepping on you step on a Lego and then something happens. Like, this Lego is a precursor.
That's not a physical trauma. That's an emotional and mental trauma.
That is true. It's like, how can Legos betray me after the relationship that we fostered when I was younger? How could you? The betrayal of Legos. That have nothing to do with what we're talking about today, because we are talking about a hospital stay. We're going to talk about today the hospital stay of Vincent McMahon in 1998. Now,
all right, now that name sounds familiar.
This is I was going to ask. Is Vince McMahon?
I feel like I know where this is going.
Well, you might, because if you're, it's an iconic one.
Does it have to do with a certain?
Hey, whoa, spoilers! Whoa.
Hey. So we have so to give some context, prior to this, Vince McMahon had stripped his champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin, of the title.
I know where this is going.
And held up the title as a result of like a triple threat match with Stone Cold, The Undertaker, and Kane, and he held it up. Stone Cold has been a thorn in the side of one Vince McMahon, including recent, like close to around this time that we're watching, driving a Zamboni into the arena, jumping off of the Zamboni and beating the absolute hell out of Vince McMahon. So
Sounds like what Canadians do in their free time.
Yeah, but this is the Texas rattlesnake. But it's just like they're like, hey, the Zamboni's here. Do you want to use it? Fuck yeah, I'll use it. Which is kind of the MO of like the 98 for Stone Cold is like, hey, we got a cement truck here. Do you want to use it? Yeah. Do we have any reason to use it? Nah, go rent a convertible. We'll pay for it. So that was, or like, oh hey, we have a crane. Let's go use this crane. We have a monster truck. Let's use that. So, Steve Austin, big connoisseur of extracurricular vehicles in professional wrestling.
And beer.
And beer, yes. So, Vince McMahon, as a result of this, strips the title and, basically goes, you know what? We're going to neither of you, Kane and Undertaker, are like, well, we should wrestle for the title then, since we basically pinned this guy and we're the reason why he no longer has a title. It's just it should be one of us. At least let us wrestle. And he goes, Vince McMahon says, nope, it's going to be at a tournament at this year's Survivor Series, and that's what we're going to do. The Brothers of Destruction live up to their name, do not like it, and they just pummel the fuck out of Vince McMahon. I'm talking like Vince is on the ground. The Undertaker, who is 7 feet tall, 300 and some odd pounds, is just on top of him, punching down at a Vince McMahon as he covers himself. And then they take him to the outside. They throw him to the steps. They hold him down, and Kane drops the steel stairs onto Vince McMahon's foot, breaking his foot, and probably doing some ligament and tendon damage, like you, Cheese. So you might relate to this. You might relate to this, the position that one Vince McMahon finds him in. But what you will not relate to is what happens to him while he's in the hospital. Now, I'm going to ask for both your guys' predictions. Obviously, Lukar, you might know. So you know what? I don't want your prediction. I want Cheese's prediction. Cheese, what do you think happens while Vince McMahon is in the hospital, and that to cause it to be the topic of today's episode?
Is this to him specifically?
It just happens while he's in there.
Is it in the hospital?
In the hospital room.
Okay. What happens to him?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Stranger Things stuff. Like that's where my brain immediately went to.
He gets a lollipop from his doctor.
A lollipop. Or Dr. Nick shows up. He's like,
hello, Mr. McMahon. Hello, Dr. Nick. I mean, look, this was 1998. That would have been a timely reference.
That'd be, oh no.
Dr. Nick shows up or some. All right, okay. All right, we'll see. I mean, look, the Brothers of Destruction, The Undertaker and Kane, who were both at this point proven and established as having some sort of supernatural powers, did put him there. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that might happen. Well, we'll find out here on the Dork side of the ring. We're going to watch this. I found a YouTube video that has all of the events in there, because he's in the hospital throughout the entire show, Monday Night Raw. They go to him a couple of times. We're going to watch all the segments in order, all together. I'll put the link of that in the description of the video, or the podcast. We're back here on the Dork side of the ring. Hey everybody, I want to take a moment here not to plug my stuff. I do that all the time. I want to sit here and tell you about my friend Cheesewiz, is who you're listening to, by the way. He told you a little bit about it. His website, soontm.com. It is the holiday season after all, and if you're wondering what games are coming out that perhaps you should get a relative of yours, your little cousin, anybody who games, or to ask for Christmas, the best way to find out what is coming out is soontm.com. There, it is a gaming calendar that's literally a calendar of gaming. You find out games and when they're coming out. You can find out what platforms, who's producing it, who or publishing it, who is making it, who's developing it, what platforms it's on, when it comes out. You can see stills, all the marketing stuff that you would want to see from a video game to learn about a video game without combing through the Steam pages of whatever is on that. You can do this to see what's coming out in the next month or two, or maybe you got a birthday coming up after Christmas at some point. This is the best way. SoonTM.com. You can add games as well if there's a game that's missing that you yourself want to do. Or maybe, the pandemic is, people are getting vaccinated. Those who are vaccinated can go enjoy things again. If you are comfortable with traveling, maybe there's some conventions or events you want to go to and know about. You can kind of, find out a little bit about that. Games, DLC, all of it. Anything gaming is on this calendar. SoonTM.com. You can even connect your Twitch account to it. And as simple as that, if you are a streamer like myself, a content creator, you can find out everything you would want to know about the games that are coming out. SoonTM.com. My friend Cheesewiz and Chef Has Teas, it is their passion project. It is a great tool, especially during the holiday season. Go check it out. SoonTM.com. Soon.
I was wondering where that was going.
All right, well, that was it. We're back on the Dork side of the ring. Quick one, but my God, there's a lot there. The idea of so the show starts in October 5th of '99. This Monday Night Raw. This airs. And they're like, he's in the hospital. We'll see to him, and it goes back and forth. It does very simple story stuff. It's like, hey, here's Vince McMahon. He's in a hospital, bitching about anything because he's not supposed to be in a hospital.
He's Vince McMahon.
He's Vince McMahon. He wants God damn it, he wants some apple juice. To which Cheese, you question whether or not he actually wanted apple juice for his safety.
I mean, look, he drank that apple juice and he got really hurt afterwards.
This is true. So he gets his apple juice. They do the test. So he's kind of going through this whole thing where he is at odds, he is trying to stifle Steve Austin's success, because while he is in fact good for business, he's not the kind of champion that Vince McMahon wants for his company. He doesn't want a guy who is crass, cursing, flips the bird at people, drinks beer. He doesn't want that. He wants a good, clean role model type. So naturally, Steve Austin's not this. So he's in the hospital. He's thinking, I'm vulnerable. He already, as he says in the thing, he tells the nurse when the nurse is like, hey, we have a visitor. He's a big guy, and he's threatening people to see you. And she's like, no. I want family only. You don't let anybody else see. And it turns out it's Mick Foley. It's Mankind. Harmless, trying to gain the favor of Vince McMahon. At the same time that all this is going on, Mick Foley, Mankind, is trying to be the guy that Vince McMahon wants. He calls him Dad. Mankind ends up turning into more of a surrogate son, which ends up playing out in the long run very well for both Mr. McMahon and Mankind. But so this segment is a very well-known segment. Lukar's like, yeah, I think I know where we're going, and then realize where we were going. So it's something that wrestling fans remember quite fondly, because between the bedpan that hits him later in the show and Mankind just coming in to cheer him up, it's just good. Mick Foley comes in happy. He's got balloons. Who says no to balloons? Cheese?
Nobody should. I mean, balloons are amazing. What are you talking about? Of course.
Right. Luke, it's just you need balloons when you're feeling bad. You get balloons if you're feeling bad. You're like, yeah, you know what? This is nice. I got balloons.
I like a good balloon.
Yeah. You a classic balloon man, or you like them like water? Yeah, or you like the fancy shiny ones?
Uh, I like sucking the helium out so that I.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that too, actually.
Yeah, no,
Undertaker's not giving me enough drugs.
yeah, no. Like, why not? Even if you're like, just get out, like, just take a little hit of the helium, man.
Yeah.
You know, why not? Like, you just
Yeah, my little baby brain just likes anything is tactile. So balloons were always fun for me as a child because you know, stretchy, blow them up, they go pop, boom, wow, fun. And now as an adult, I'm like, wow, stretch them out, blow them up, pop, boom, wow, fun.
It's the simple things, you know. You're just
I'm a
like
simple man.
yeah. Yeah, no, big fan. Was it just me, or was the helium that came out of the shinier balloons? Did it taste?
Oh, it
different?
hit different.
It hit different, right? It tasted different when you suck it out,
It was
but like
it had that spiciness to it.
yeah,
of, like,
had a little
the
tang.
metal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it's like
Oh, that's your evaporated bathwater, Luke. That's what it is.
Wait,
That's what's in there.
why did you have
Shh, secret recipe? Shh.
yeah, I felt like they just had like this metallic taste to it, but like I don't know, but it also like I don't know, it makes me feel like the helium stuck around longer. The duration of your pitch being higher is
It
good.
was more potent.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I just loved it every time because you'd breathe it in and you talk funny and then it would make you laugh and then you'd laugh funny and then it would make you laugh even more and then everybody else's laugh. It's just like the perfect thing, right?
Now,
Oh, no.
the helium balloons as a child were great, but as an adult, did anybody do nitrogen?
Can't say that I have.
Never had never went to a concert. Did a little bit of
Some
maybe
whippets?
little whippets, yeah.
No, can't say that I have.
No? All right. Well then, I guess I'm not alone in that. I never did that. You know what we're talking about, Cheese?
I don't think so.
I still have most of my brain cells. So
So basically, same idea as helium, but it's like a denser air. So,
well, I guess technically a whip would be carbon dioxide because that's like a whipped cream canister.
Yeah.
But
No.
Were those in the balloons?
no.
No. The balloons had something else in them. Like the Grateful Dead love them. The Deadheads love them. But it's a denser thing. So like it sits in your lungs. It sits in your lungs and that makes you feel like a different high. But also it makes your voice a lot
Don't
deeper.
make your voice deep, yeah.
Yeah, it makes your voice deeper, like almost demonic. So
Wow. Yeah, no,
it's to do that.
yeah. It's like this. You're talking to the whole time. But it is. I don't know. I mean, we know it wasn't helium or wasn't that because the balloons are up in the air, and helium is lighter than air. Thus, that's what keeps it up. Also, let me make this clear. This podcast is an anti-letting go of balloons into the air. All right.
Yeah.
agreed.
No littering.
Agreed.
That's bad for the environment. It is horrible for the animals. God.
And you also lose your balloon. Like, who the hell wants to lose their awesome balloon that they just got from their friend Humanity? This little guy, he just shows up with a sock puppet and some balloons, and then you're gonna throw it in the sky? Like, what the kind of shit is that?
What did you call him? Humanity? Called
Mankind.
Humanity.
Whoops.
No, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, no, I can't
Where
like
did I go
Humanity
now?
Foley.
Mick Humanity. My God, it's Mick Humanity. Humanity Mick.
Uh-oh.
I feel like Humanity Mick might be the name there. No, don't let go of balloons into the air, into the open air. It is bad for the environment. Littering, but you also like if you let them go by power lines. Boy, is that shit flammable. It is never good. It's not as flammable as hydrogen, obviously, but that'll make a spectacular boom. I don't know if you guys have ever seen or anybody's seen that video of the girl like is in a parking lot. Let's go with her balloons. They go into the power lines and they just fucking zap like everything.
You were gonna I thought you were gonna say something about the Hindenburg. I was like, wait, what?
No. No, that's hydrogen. That's when they learned that we
Yes,
should use
yeah.
helium. We need to create helium. No, it's like I feel like it's a more recent time video, but like this girl's like at a parking lot at night, like maybe celebrating somebody's birthday. She lets go of these balloons, and they go up into the power lines. They hit the power lines, and it just fucking knocks the entire power out. Like it is a massive explosion, and everything is pitch black. The restaurants are dark. The streetlights are dark. There's like 2 or 3 like cars on the road that are providing the faintest little bit of light. It is like hilarious to see because they're like, "Oh my god, we're going to jail!" Like it is, that was their reaction. But yeah, don't let go of balloons, especially like because I work at a cemetery and I see that shit and like I'd be finding dead birds, choking on balloon pieces.
There's enough dead things in a cemetery. We don't need more.
I don't need more. Yeah. Plus, like as Cheese says, don't let go of your balloons. Hold on to them. They're a lot more fun.
Speaking of
You get
cemeteries,
You do the I don't know about you guys. I always enjoyed using them as like a punching bag, like I just pull down on the string, but I'd have the string like right below, so it'd be like pop 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 pop.
Yeah, I've done that before for sure.
And then when the helium goes out enough where you can kind of like hang it without it like floating, and then you just plus you get to play with squishy silicone rubber balloons when they're losing their helium.
Yeah, I think the only time it's acceptable for your balloon to fly away is if you're attached to it.
Do you remember Balloon Boy?
You remember Moon Shoes?
You don't remember Balloon Boy? It was that whole like thing about like that kid from the Midwest that like got attached to a balloon and flew away.
Oh yes,
like
I
a
do
weather
remember.
balloon.
Yeah,
it was on the news and
yeah,
everything.
no, I do remember
if that was
that.
a hoax or not. I think it was a hoax, wasn't it?
It might have been. I definitely remember it. No, it wasn't a hoax. They lied.
Okay.
So like what they did was they tied, I believe,
It was like a weather balloon.
It was a weather balloon, but they had a doll of some kind there, and they were like our child. So they raised money to like try to find him, and people would go look for the weather balloon, and like their child was not. Unless I'm thinking of something different, but I definitely remember there being a scam version of it. But yeah, when you said Balloon Boy, I thought of Bubble Boy, and I'm like, the movie?
No, not Bubble Boy.
I would say only in America, but that could have happened in like Alberta too. I feel like.
I do remember Moon Shoes though.
Oh yeah, Moon Shoes were great. I had a single one of them.
Is it effective?
Do you remember
Nope. Nope.
Do you remember Sock 'em Boppers?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I also had only one of them. I shared the Sock 'em Boppers though. I shared the other one with my brother, so we had one-handed fights.
There you go.
Yeah.
Do you know what those are, Cheese?
Yeah. We had Hulk versions of those, and those were sweet.
Do you remember Sock 'em Boppers then made like fill up like balloon weapons? Like they had a sword and a shield and
I don't remember that.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we can do something more here, so kids aren't boxing each other. Because I think they realized if you didn't put enough air in them and you smack somebody, you were actually punching somebody with your fist. Oh man,
we teach them how to fight to the death.
Can you imagine that shit gets like put out now? Like
I was just
such
thinking,
a different world, man.
Yeah,
holy.
like there was a lot. Like I was thinking about this the other day, because like I was thinking of like Nick game shows, like Legends of the Hidden Temple, like
right.
But then I remember the prizes that would always be there. Like the first prize was always some late like BK Knights glow up sneakers, and I'm like, imagine like nowadays the first prize wouldn't be that. It'd be like
an iPad,
and I'm like,
oh my god, yeah.
I would 100% want the iPad more than the BK. Like, imagine like these are people who are like, yeah, you're gonna get these cheap knockoff sneakers but they light up in the night, so they're good. They're light up. And then like the second prize,
you get First prize is 1 million followers on TikTok.
Oh my god.
Like the first prize back then was like an all expense paid trip to like Cancun as like for you and your family. And I'm like,
I have a friend who was on one of the Nick shows. I don't remember which one it was. I'll have to ask him. But he won a bike from it.
Oh,
and it got stolen.
No.
Oh wow.
No, that's the worst. God. People always ask me, like, and I'll ask you guys, like, if you go back in time, like, what would you do? I'm like, I go back in time to when I was young enough to be eligible to appear on Nickelodeon Guts. And I would train to be on Nickelodeon Guts.
Yep.
I can 100% do the aggro crag. Maybe not now. I think aggro crag will whoop my ass right now. But absolutely could take it in my prime.
I was like oh my god, I can't think of the name of it. What was the one where they like it had the big head and it would
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
No. The other one, it was like where they had to guess the words to make like to figure out like what the kid did.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out.
Yeah, that was always a good one. Yeah, I wish I had anything. I was
Double Dare.
Double Dare is a great one. Look, right now, if we can get a Double Dare, the three of us are 75% of a Double Dare team.
Double Dare team.
We need a good fourth. We need somebody who is fast and we need somebody who's actually athletic. I don't think the three of us. Do we know anybody who's actually athletic?
All my friends play video games.
Okay, all my friends play video games, as well. Cheese, do you know anybody who's athletic?
All my neighbors are at least 2 kilometers away from me.
Oh yeah. Well, shit. All right. Well, if you're looking to join our Double Dare team, you can apply at www.doubledare.grumm.tv.
Oh no.
Cheese.lukar. Free
Grumm Bumbly is Maximus.
Yeah, I lost the joke.
You're trying to do
that's the URL. That's part of it. That wasn't actually me saying I lost the joke. That's actually part of the URL. Keep that in mind.
Yeah. It's an Angel Fire website. Don't worry. It definitely has pre-2010 internet viruses on it. Your computer should be able to handle it. If not,
yeah, you might want to use a VPN.
Yeah. Also, don't whatever you do not inform the authorities about this. Anyways, so I was gonna say, I was just lost in the thought of like Nickelodeon Guts because
Lost in the sauce.
I was lost in the guts. I definitely could have done well on that show. I was like lanky. That's what you need to be. You need to be able to reach parts of the aggro crag faster. Plus, I can row a boat in a straight line and then just turn around and go back the other way. That's all that was. There wasn't anything impressive. The hand bike one was fun. That one, where like they would run it over like broken road. I could do that. No problem. This is my version of like, oh, I was varsity back in my day. But no, we can back to the segment. So Mick Foley delivers candy, and along with the balloons, all that came off of the balloon talk, by the way.
Goodness. Welcome to the tangents that are the tangents.
Yeah, our normal
conversations.
Yeah, like this show right now is just what we normally are like, and when we all hang out and talk together. That's maybe a little bit more Smash Brothers or a little bit more PUBG, but that's yeah.
We'll just be having normal conversation. All of a sudden, hey, guy over there. Okay, get wiped. All right, whatever.
Or Grumm, stop using Castlevania guys. They're so OP.
Grumm, take off your pants.
No, I'm leaving my pants. I owed a dinner. God. Not before you give me dinner. So the
that was a reference to the PUBG days when you wore the dad pants.
Yeah, I still do. I think. I don't know. I haven't played PUBG in a little bit.
Me neither.
But no, so the candies, I love that Vince McMahon was so disgusted with the candies that he didn't realize what mankind was saying until like Mankind was like, yeah, no, so they're right out there. And he's like, wait, what? You brought who? You brought him? Wait, what? I was just stopped dead in my tracks by these chocolates. What chocolates do you think he had, by the way? Because I can't tell from that.
They look like the ones that you get at like a drugstore.
Yeah,
during,
for
like,
Valentine's Day. Yeah, exactly. One had a nut in it, and the whole point is to try and avoid that one. So that's
right. Okay, so I'm not alone in being like, yeah, no, like the one that like there's always that one candy that is 80% an almond.
Yeah.
You don't like almonds?
It's not that I don't like almonds. It's that I don't want to bite into a piece of chocolate
expecting not to be almond, and then you bite into it, it's mostly almond. You're like, oh.
No, it's not even like chopped up almonds. It's a single almond.
A Toblerone is fantastic, which is the chopped up, candied almonds and stuff. But if you know for sure you're buying the almond ones, then yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But like if you just get like an assortment and you're just like, I know there's gonna be one with an almond in it, and I'm expecting it to be like a truffle or maybe some white chocolate in it, or like I don't know, like hell, even a little bit of jam or something like that. But then you bite in the almond one, and you're like, oh, I was feeling chocolate, not almond.
Yeah, like chocolate covered almonds are fine, right? But like, it's the fact that it's shaped exactly like it's literally the Forrest Gump thing, right? Like you never know what you're gonna get. Except I know what I don't want though. I don't know what I'm gonna get, but I know what I'm gonna hate if I get it.
Speaking of shapes, I was saying this to Cheese last night. Reese's peanut butter cups that are shaped like different things, like the Halloween ones right now are like pumpkins, or like the Christmas ones that are trees. They're better than regular Reese's peanut butter cups because they have a better proportion of peanut butter, and I will stand by that.
God.
I'll stand with you. I'll stand in front of you if anybody wants to challenge that.
I need a whole bag of those things in like a single sitting.
It's really funny. Luke and I were talking about it yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Just playing some games, and he literally told me, and I was like, I don't think we have those in Canada. Like I've never seen those Reese's peanut butter cups before. He's like, oh, I'm sure you do. Like, I don't know, it's in a drugstore or something like that. Or like, what do you got? I'm like, Shoppers. He's like, yeah, just go to Shoppers. So you know what I did today? I went to a Shoppers, and guess what?
They had them.
They totally did. They had them, man. They freaking had them there. I was like, what the hell?
Did you buy them?
Holy crap. Yeah, I bought 2 packs, so I got 4 of them. And
Did you try one yet?
No, do you want me to live
do
on?
Yeah, do it live. Do it live.
Right
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I want a live review. This is the first time ever. Live review.
Right, 1 second. I'll go grab it.
I just love that. Like Cheese is like, yeah, no, I've never had them my entire life, and I'm like, you're like the Easter egg ones are by far the best one. I think the Easter eggs are the best.
I'm partial to the pumpkin shapes.
Pumpkin
shape spooky season.
That's fair. I think the Easter one is just because it's the shape, right? It's easy to like to handle.
Well, so to be fair, the pumpkin and the Easter egg ones are kind of the same shape.
They kind of are. The pumpkin ones have like a little bit. Yeah, you're not wrong.
All right, peanut butter, Reese's peanut butter. They don't even call them cups. 2 pumpkins. Citrouille. I'm in Canada, so this is always French as well. That's pumpkin. King-sized format, grand.
Now, here's the other thing too. I don't know if because I know like in certain areas of the world, like recipes are different to suit the tastes of the people that live there.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't know if Canadian Reese's peanut butter cups, first of all, taste different than American. I would assume probably not.
That's the first thing that I'm checking when I go to Canada. Whenever the next time I visit Canada, I'm making sure I get Canadian Reese's to see. Because I'm in Pennsylvania, Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Which is where Hershey's from.
Correct.
Who makes Reese's peanut butter cups.
Lukar's in the general area within driving
just
distance.
Just below in Maryland.
Yeah.
About an hour south.
It says imported by Hershey's Canada, Mississauga, Ontario. So there you go.
Okay. All right. So I'm hopeful then. Okay.
I mean, there's different food, what are they called? Regulations or whatever here in Canada. So I don't know. I'm not an expert on it, but I think there's.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there is. What are you talking about? You guys got freaking. Okay. You guys don't have cheese curds. We got cheese curds up here. You guys don't.
I mean, we don't have Kinder eggs either.
Yeah, we do. Exactly. We do. They're back.
Okay, so they're not the same. They're not
the same.
They're not the exact same.
Oh, this is false advertising, man.
What do you mean?
This does not look like a pumpkin at all.
I need you to take a picture.
Kind of more like a blob.
Yeah, it's very much a like on the packaging. If you go and look it up, you just Google it right now. That it's got two. One's like got a bite out of it, and the other one has like this pumpkin face of peanut butter on it.
Yep.
And none of them have pumpkin faces with peanut butter on top of them. And if you actually open it up, like it looks more like a kidney. Like an actual just kidney, more than a pumpkin for sure. But I mean, it's all about the taste. I mean, so
no, but that's good. Okay.
It also doesn't come in that like wax cup thing as well.
Nope.
So
No.
All right.
No, the king size packaging they actually got rid of most. I think like even because the standard ones still have it because it'll stick. So yeah. All right.
Let me try this out. It's it's about normal size and stuff. All right, here we go.
Scintillating radio. Yeah.
Any differences?
I mean, it's a little bit more rich, I'd say.
Yeah.
Just like slightly a little bit
peanut
more
butter.
rich.
Yeah.
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 It's a little bit more rich. And
damn it.
you know what's really, really nice? There's nothing left over on that freaking little wax thing when you pull off the cup.
Okay.
And you don't have to like lick it all clean and stuff.
I like licking the wax paper, all right?
Man, like that's so annoying though. And you're like, you already had the whole thing. You got this little piece left, and you're like, no, the best part is that full bite of it. You take like one little bite of the peanut butter cup, and then you eat the rest of it, and you're like, oh, it's so delicious, right? Yeah, it's got none of that. It's got none of that.
I got no problems licking the icing, the last couple of pieces of that are stuck on the wax paper. No issues at all. I'll do it. I'll lick it.
It's more so the fact that you have to, though.
I guess so. But at the same time, like, you also have to lick your hands clean when you eat like Cheetos or Doritos.
I mean, yeah, but that's part of the experience. You don't want your Reese's peanut butter cup to be stuck to the wax paper.
I would argue that that's part of the experience, though.
I think it is part of the experience, but not in a good way. You know what I mean? Like, it's definitely a part of that experience for sure now. Like, you are always going to get it.
Now, here's another question.
But I'm on the side of the fence where it's not my favorite.
Here's another question. What are your thoughts on Reese's peanut butter cups when they're frozen?
Top tier. Like,
rated.
Yeah.
The
Incredible.
best. I was going to ask if Cheese froze them. Or at least
I did not freeze them.
Dairy Queen Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzard is one of my personal favorites with extra peanut butter cups.
Like as a kid, like we were coming around Halloween time here pretty soon. I was always the kid that wanted all the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups or Reese's Pieces. I was always chocolate and peanut butter so much that my friend's mom, my mom's friend, other way around. My mom's really good friend, Janice, every time she comes over to my mom's place, even though I'm like older now, she will always drop off homemade chocolate peanut butter cups for me because she knows how much I love them. Like that's how much I love chocolate and peanut butter together.
Tell her she gotta make some for me too. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so here's a similar situation, Cheese.
Okay.
When she was alive, well, not in the most recent years, but back like when I was younger, when my siblings and I were younger. My grandmother, who lives in Maine, Grammy, she would send us each a box. Okay, well, so let me rephrase. She would send us a large box with boxes inside of the boxes, and each of those boxes was filled with containers, like the sour cream containers that you empty out and then you save them to put stuff in.
Oh, I love that, man. That's such a grandma thing. I love that so much.
She would fill those with Reese's peanut butter cups and send them down to us for Christmas every single year.
That's great. That's so good,
I'd like to thank Grammy for my addiction to Reese's peanut butter cups.
To be honest,
I have no regrets. I will love her for the rest of my life for that.
That's awesome, man. That's so cute. I only eat these maybe like once a year, though, at this point. I don't eat chocolate bars too often. And okay, final review. I think I like the normal Reese's peanut butter cups more than the pumpkin ones.
Wow.
I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is it the nostalgia factor?
No, actually, one thing that I noticed is when you bite into a Reese's peanut butter cup, you know how on the outside, there's like a decent layer of chocolate that's like harder than the top of it or whatever. I like that a lot. I like having that distinction between the outside layer of chocolate on the side of the peanut butter cup and then the gooey, very like soft middle of it. I like both of like having both of those in my peanut butter cup. Whereas this one with the pumpkin, it's kind of just soft and all around. And honestly, the presentation is like a 2 out of 10. It looks like a lump of a kidney. At least the peanut butter cups got a little bit of a shape, and they look a little unique, even though I have to eat, like the thing off the wrap or whatever. Yeah. I think I like the originals more.
I'm
also, I got a Frankenstein one too. Yeah. I got a Frankenstein one. That's an original shape, but it's like a Frankenstein one.
It's okay to have opinions and be wrong.
You know what? Before we keep going on, I do have this. The Easter Bunny made of Reese's is the best Easter Bunny.
Oh. I don't know if I've had that. Actually, I think I've had an Easter Bunny Reese's, but there was Reese's Pieces inside a hollow Easter Bunny. Ooh. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, no, it was Easter Bunny with the like it addressed the issue that you have, which is like it had the harder chocolate on the outside, but it had just so much peanut butter. Oh my god, it was a dream come to life. Also, they have these Reese's bars that are like kind of in the same vein of like a Hershey bar, right? And like they'll have like they'll break it up into pieces and they're filled with they're just like these kind of puffed up pizzas that are filled with the peanut butter. So good. So good.
Ugh. Are you talking about like I feel like I know what you're talking about. I've seen them. I don't think I've ever had one though.
They're like it's like a king size Hershey bar, but instead of it being a Hershey bar, it's a Reese's. It's got like the Reese's chocolate with the peanut butter in it. So good. When I used to work at a grocery store, I would go straight there and grab it. Be like, this is mine. I'm eating this for dinner.
Wow, that was so sweet though. Oh my god, that was so rich and sweet.
It's very good.
It's super tasty. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Reese is just above like anything else. But yeah, I think I still like the original a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's okay to be wrong. It's fine.
So
who are you?
Anyway, back to the segment.
So it does bring me to the point. I did want to ask this question about this. What is Reese? I'm just guessing now at this point. The answer is very obvious that your comfort candy is Reese's.
Yeah, probably. I have a bag of them on my desk right now. So
for me, it's not. I would say.
Oh, what is?
I mean, like if I had to choose a chocolate bar, what would you consider Reese's like peanut butter cups a chocolate bar?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I had to choose chocolate bar, yeah. To be honest,
or just any candy, really.
I've gotten really into dark chocolate, like dark chocolate, like spicy dark chocolate or something like that. I used to hate it, and I never understood why you'd like it. Same thing with like beer. It's just kind of an acquired taste, like sushi or whatever it is. And then you start to eat it a little bit more. I find it's hard for me to go back to milk chocolate. It just is. It's too sweet now. It's too sweet.
I got to be in the mood for dark chocolate.
I'm not a big dark chocolate guy. I don't really.
I enjoy it, but I got to be in the mood for it.
I'm not a big bitter guy, right? So if it's got a bitter taste to it, I'm out. Like I don't drink coffee. If people are like, just put creamer in it. I'm like, why don't I just drink milk? Like, because I have to put that much in that it's at that point it's almost milk.
There are days where I drink multiple coffees a day.
Yeah.
Oh, let's be serious. That's a little bit of an understatement there, bud. I'm also not a coffee drinker at all. Like I'll have 1 cup of coffee a year on average. Because one, I really like it, but it's one of those like, oh, I could see my life turning into only me drinking coffee, and I need to be very careful with that. Also, I have lots of energy. I have lots of energy anyways, so if I'm like, oh, coffee just, I'm bouncing off walls. So I
do not. I'm dead inside.
I was gonna say, Lukar has to drink that.
I'm a college student and I work. I need coffee.
Or coffee at this point, yeah. You know, there's, I would say it was TwitchCon 2018. Yeah, I think it was when I saw you double fisting coffee, like large coffee cups.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
I
Yeah.
don't remember.
Yeah. I was
He
like,
likes the Van
wow.
Hoot.
I mean, it sounds like me.
Yeah, I was like, are those? Oh, is that for somebody? No. Okay, all right.
I think the first time I went up to Canada to visit Cheese and Squilla, I'm pretty sure that we went to Tim Hortons. Keep in mind, I was there for what, 5 days, maybe, give or take, maybe 6. I think we went to Tim Hortons like 12 times.
Yeah, something like that. Roll up the rim to win. That's what we were doing.
Well, that's what happened too. I kept winning free coffee, so I was like, well, you know what? I guess I'll go get a coffee. And then I would win a free coffee after the coffee. I'm like, well, you know what? I guess I should go get a coffee.
It's very convenient that they knew they were going to have their teeth sunk into you.
Grumm, what about you for candy? You asked us that. I'm curious.
So,
what's yours?
So mine is, as much as I love Reese's, it's not my comfort one. My comfort candy is Skittles. Like,
another good choice.
If, like, you know, I'm like, oh man, like, I'm having a bad day, because Skittles last a little longer, but like, I can't. You like, it's almost impossible to put a bunch in your mouth at one point, because you can, but by the time you finish chewing them, your jaw is incredibly sore. So you're like, okay, I just need to take a couple at this point. And sure, I still take more than the average human, but I can get more out of a king size bag of tropical Skittles than I can king size, Reese's package.
See, exactly. That's why I like dark chocolate as well, is because dark chocolate, for the satisfying like kick of chocolate, it takes way less than like a milk chocolate or like a Hershey's bar or like I don't know, whatever it is, right? So that's why like it's there's still sugar in it, but if you take little bites and like just like snap the little squares in half or whatever, that'll last you so much longer. I feel like a dark chocolate bar, I could just not finish, but with like any other chocolate bar, you're like, well, hell yeah, I'm finishing this. Maybe get a second one,
Yeah.
Which 100%, same skills. Okay, but this is also really important. I don't know. Everybody's got their own little ways of like eating things. How do you eat your Skittles?
Do you mean like do you go for a specific color, or do you just kind of toss them in your mouth?
Like,
or?
Just in general, like how do you eat your Skittles?
I take like 5 to 7
with my
of them.
hands.
Yeah, like I'll like maybe I'll put them in my hands. Maybe I'll just, if it's all for me, like if I don't have to worry about sharing with anybody, I'll just straight from the tap.
Actually, I lied. What I do is I pour them out on the ground. I put my hands on my hips and walk around like a chicken, and I peck them up with my lips.
That was an interesting visualization. Of that right there.
Yeah, no, that's like I'm sitting here. I'm like, all right, oh, okay. So he puts his hands on his hips. So I'm thinking of it like, which one should I eat first? And like then you decide. But no, to go to the whole, I did not expect the eating it like a chicken.
They're like little bugs, and you just peck.
Little peck. That's good.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'll rip open a corner of the bag. Pop the bag up, open a little bit, like where you're like, this way the hole is a little wider,
You're talking like movie theater technique.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I don't know what it is. Certain foods, it's super OCD. I like when I eat jujubes. Do you guys have jujubes up there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, this is different though.
They're like little.
I remember figuring this out. No, jujubes are different from Canada and US. Just look it up. If you're listening to this, look up Canadian jujubes and American jujubes. They're actually completely and utterly different. It's really funny. Anyways, they're basically like waxed candy, yummy things.
Little
like
gummy
drops.
yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
But they're different. They're different in the US and Canada. A lot of the time you'll go to like a grocery store over here and they'll have like the no brand name brand, and they're just in like this plastic bag, and they're like sour. They're so good, like Farm Boy. Oh, anyways,
Juji.
I'm OCD.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta eat them by colors. I always start out eating like whether it's Skittles or Jubes or whatever it is. I eat one at a time because I find if I go for the handful right away, I'm just handfuls the whole time and I kind of get sick really quick. But if I like build myself up to the handful, does that make sense? I don't know. It sounds ridiculous as I say it. And whenever I eat like the Skittles or the Jubes or whatever it is, if they have multiple colors or like whatever it is, like I have to have one of each color as my last in the bag. And that's how I finish every single bag. I don't know why. Just like little OCD things. I usually, like when I eat some of the Jubes or Skittles and stuff, if I'm like, okay, I don't want all of them right now, I will actually take out them and organize a bunch by colors and then put like 5 of each color in something, like a plastic bag, and then I'll be like, that's what I'll have. And I'll eat one of each color at the same time. You're learning a lot about me right now, aren't you?
I am. I'm just sitting here, I'm like, I mean, like we shared a place for TwitchCon 2019 a couple years ago, and then again, like we just went. To be fair, I was like,
he's regretting it.
No, no, it's just like I'm like I don't remember. Like I'm seeing, and then I'm like, well, to be fair, Cheese did bring me 2 bottles of Canadian maple syrup for me, so all is forgiven. It just like
wait, what were you thinking? Wait, you didn't tell me about this.
No, it was just like I'm sitting there like when you're describing, I'm like, I didn't see this. Like I never, and I was like, oh, it's probably because I was blinded by the fact that like the first as soon as we got. So fun story about that. All of our flights came in a lot sooner than our Airbnb had started or was open, which was less than ideal because my flight was supposed to come in at like 3, and I like was there at 1:30, and I was like, well, I'm locked out of the Airbnb because it's not even open. Time to contact the person and be like, hey, so because I don't think I had their information, so I had to go through Jules and basically like, can you give me the information? But I had to wait for you guys to land before I could even get the information.
Yeah.
That was a fun time. No, like the first thing, Cheese goes, here, I got you these, and then shows me like 10 to 12 bottles of maple syrup. I'm like, all of these are mine? He goes, no, you can have. I got one for everybody. Actually, bud, you can have 2. And I'm like, thanks.
I didn't get one.
Pure maple syrup.
2019.
100% Canadian maple syrup.
Was I not there for that one?
You were not there for that.
Oh.
Yeah, you weren't there for that one.
Well, I didn't get one.
What was your verdict on that, Grumm? What was your verdict on it?
So good. Yeah. I
Yeah.
still have another one. I put one in the freezer, like immediately. So I'm when I go to a place that allows me to bring my own maple syrup again.
Yeah. Dude,
everything.
I remember you ate so many pancakes at TwitchCon. I think every morning you ordered like a huge stack of pancakes and bacon. I remember that. That was great.
Me and my girlfriend try to go to the same brunch place like at least once a week, every like Saturday or Sunday, and I would go there and I would go, today's the day where I get something different. And instead I get funfetti pancakes and 2 orders of bacon.
There you go, man. There it is.
They're so good, man. Ah, fuck. I want them right now.
The fluffiest pancakes are the best, man.
They're so good.
Oh, so good. This turned into a talk show about food and stuff, and I'm all here for it.
Look, that's what like the show is just simply like whatever the fuck ends up all right. So my greater like philosophy about wrestling is that wrestling itself is great, but it's the conversations around wrestling that are the most fun.
Yeah.
Like, like, oh my God, did you see that move? Like that was awesome. Or, oh, that story, the segment. And wherever the conversation goes is like that's how a lot of my like wrestling based, a lot of my friendships that happened because of wrestling happened is we start having a conversation about what we watched, and it turns into something like this, which is us just going like, holy shit, I love pancakes.
That's how I learned to play the violin underwater while I was swimming away from a shark that was on fire.
And that's how I learned Lukar eats Skittles like a chicken.
Yeah, I want to see this now. I'm gonna call him out. I'm gonna buy him some Skittles and spread them all over a
next
table.
time we're in the same
and be
place,
like,
we're gonna have like a
let's
jug.
see.
We're gonna have a jug we'll have a jug of Skittles, and we'll just dump them out in front of them and go,
If you
okay, show us.
if you dress up like a farmer and ring a bell and say dinner time and then throw them on the ground, I will happily do it.
All right.
Just to see you do that.
Oh, this is on the internet, man. Like
Yeah.
this is that's easy for me
If you
to do.
buy
What are
me
you
a
talking
chicken
about?
costume,
So we're gonna just throw the chicken costume at you and
That's
go,
easy.
dinner time, eat up, boy.
you throw the chicken costume at me and you go, it's time.
Oh man. All right. Well, I guess I am gonna go to the.
Man.
I am gonna go to the next TwitchCon if Lukar goes. Like, I'm 100% in. Like, that's just for the fact of doing that. Poor humanity, mankind. Just like he's like, this is. I'm gonna be able to talk. I'm gonna be the focus of this again. Let's go. But no, he brings in Yerple the clown afterwards. We're back to talk about the segment. Brings in Yerple the clown, who calls Vince Vinny. Which is just, no one ever did.
What,
Called
is
him
he your cousin or something?
Yeah. Oh, hey, how you doing, Vinny? It's like, what the fuck? Has a balloon rainbow to brighten the day. Even the darkest days are bright and shining. Has a sticker, just a nice little smiley face sticker, which coincidentally would end up being part of Mick Foley's brand as Mankind, the yellow smiling face. And
Created by Forrest Gump.
yeah, created by Forrest Gump, as seen in the biographical film Forrest Gump. Have a nice day. I just like that. That's it. That they're like, yeah, no, he rubbed his face and he made a perfect.
Yeah,
it made, like,
right.
So that then while this is going, Mick Foley says, hey, look, show him the trick with the dog, right? All this, by the way, before Yerple the Clown had been prefaced, or came in, Mick Foley had prefaced it as adult some entertainment for Vince. It's a she. He got her a female entertainer to lift his spirits up, so that implication that it's a
And he did it with it, if you know what I mean.
If you know what I mean. And turns out, like, and as he's like, you should see what she does this trick with a dog, you should see.
I don't know what Vince is into, but personally, when I saw a clown walk in, I think my heart rate monitor would be going sky high because I dislike clowns.
Not a big. What about you, Cheese? You pro or anti-clown?
They don't scare me and they don't make me laugh. So
Neutral.
I actually kind of feel like I feel sad for clowns because like putting on all that makeup and like getting dressed up in that and and having people be like scary pervert and you're like I was trying hard to make some kids laugh and shit wow.
The thing about clowns,
yeah,
though,
I guess sad.
thing about clowns though is not all of them put on that makeup. They're just clowns naturally. I'm looking at you, wrestling Twitter. So yeah,
Sheesh.
Sheesh. Yeah. But no, yeah. Okay, so Lucar's anti-clown. You're sad for clowns. I'm neutral clowns. Like, I use them. Like, my mom is afraid of clowns because she saw it when it was like first in theaters, and so like she's been afraid of clowns ever since. And I threatened her.
The old one, the original.
Yeah, with Tim Curry. Yeah. And I threatened her for her 50th birthday that I would get 49 clowns cutouts put on the front yard. To which she said,
I will disown you as my son.
correct. And then she goes, but why 49? And I said, oh, because I'd hire an actual clown to follow you that day. She goes, I'll kill the
I'll disown you
clown.
as my son.
I'll kill the clown, and then I'll kill you. And I was like, I don't need you catching double homicide charges. Like, we're good here. I was like, can I get him to chase you to your car from the front lawn? She goes, no. Okay. So. Would have been funny.
Should just got Tim Curry.
I should have just hired Tim Curry or what's it? Which Skarsgård is it?
Alexander, I think.
I think so. It's Alexander Skarsgård.
Bill's the old, like
Yeah,
his dad, I think.
yeah. But there's like a third one. Like there's
Oh, is there?
yeah. There's one that was or Pennywise. There was one that was Tarzan, and there's Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård was in Thor, I think.
Yeah, yep. He's the
He's
professor.
the scientist. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whose
yes.
name eludes me.
Eric Selvig.
Yes, thank you.
Bam. That's right. Out of the deep recesses of my mind. So, Yerpel the Clown, who this is Yerpel's first appearance in WWE. Yerpel also
was she
appeared.
a recurring appearance?
So, a previous episode of Dork Side, we talked about The Rock, This Is Your Life, which was a celebration of The Rock's life hosted by Mankind, except it goes sideways every time he introduces a home ec teacher, and like the home ec teacher's like, yeah, I loved The Rock. Rock was great in school. And The Rock's like, remember, I wanted to make pancakes, but you never let me make pancakes. I hate you. Like, the whole idea is Mankind's trying at this time. This is like a year after the segment the three of us watched, so Mankind is again trying to gain the adoration and respect of another man who he looks up to. This time it was The Rock, and was trying to be like, Rock, we're the Rock and Sock Connection. He gets like custom jackets that say Rock and Sock Connection. One says The Rock, one says The Sock. They match. He brings out his high school crush or his middle school crush, his fifth grade like home ec teacher, and his high school football coach. And The Rock's like, all these people suck. Like, you remember when you yelled at me for DDTing the opposing quarterback? And the coach goes, Rock, you can't do that. And he's like, yeah, I'm about to DDT you if you don't get up out of my ring. So it's leaves. But Yerpel the Clown comes out and is sitting there the whole time in the entire getup underneath like a blanket. And it comes out and it's like, it's Yerpel the Clown. And he's like, what in the fuck is this? But Yerpel's debut is, her first appearance is this, where she's entertaining Vince McMahon in a hospital.
Interesting.
She doesn't do the trick with the balloon or the dog for The Rock, though, which is to make a balloon animal out of that looks like a dog. But the star of the segment, and why the segment, one of the reasons why this segment lives on in infamy, is the fact that this is the birth of Mr. Sacco, the beloved hand puppet that would replace or that would become part of Mankind's entire gimmick, which is his finisher move. And I explained this last time, and I explained it very well to both Purple and Citra, but it was called the mandible claw. And the idea was you take your two middle fingers, so your middle finger and your ring finger, and you put it into somebody's mouth, but you put it underneath their tongue. And then you take your thumb, and from the outside, you press up against their, underneath their chin at the same time that you're pushing down with your middle and your ring finger. And so now and then he just removed he would stuff Mr. Sacco in his pants, whip out Mr. Sacco, put it on his hands, and then do the mandible claw. But now it's Mr. Sacco. So it's like the same idea as, he's choking you the hell out, but he's also got a cock sock. Or a stuffing sock, I should say. That has presumably been in there the entire wrestling match. So it's probably got some stink to it.
Nice and juiced up.
Yeah. But Mr. Sacco's first appearance, he kisses Vince McMahon's boo-boo, which is his broken foot, which Vince does not like at all. Vince does the agitated father. Leave. Come on, just leave me alone. God damn it, leave. And then that's like the penultimate appearance of the night for Vince McMahon. And the last time we see Vince McMahon, they were supposed to have an interview with him. But they were unable to. He wasn't responsive, or he wasn't responding because he was too busy dealing with the nurse taking his blood pressure for what can only be seen as like the fifth or sixth time. And Cheese, you noted that's probably why the American healthcare system is so bad, it's so expensive, because he's like, it came back normal.
Yeah.
It was normal. And then it was normal again, and you did it again, and it was normal. Which I can only assume, was, I don't think they actually took his blood pressure multiple times. I think it was scripted, as much of wrestling is.
What you would call a bit.
It was a bit, yes. It was hilarious though, where he's like, you took it and it was normal, and then you took it again and it was normal, and you took it a third time and guess what? It was normal. So let me out of here. Like he's like, I can't wait to be out of here. And I feel like that's a lot of people who go to hospitals, at least in America. It's like, I just want to go the fuck home.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the case mostly with any hospital. It's not fun visiting in the hospital, whether you're there because of someone else or for yourself. It's yeah.
I, for one, had fun multiple times visiting the hospital. I got to see the same doctor because I went to live in the same town, at the same, basically a small town. Like, I wouldn't say he was the same doctor that like birthed me, but damn near. Like, he was around, so he knew me by name at this point. When he's like, oh, what'd you do this time? Oh, you're getting stitches. That's better than the staples you got last time. And I'm like, sure thing, doc. Like,
that's kind of funny.
My tricep is poking out of my arm. Can you please do something about this? Thank you. But no. Well, I guess most people would probably, I think, compared to what happened to Vince McMahon, everybody would take the experience that they had. Most likely. I'd say 8 out of 10 times. Because Vince McMahon's hospital stay ends because, or at least just from what we know, ends with Stone Cold Steve Austin finally infiltrating the hospital room and proceeding to beat the ever-living fuck out of Vince McMahon, who is bandaged. He is on oxygen. He's
in a diaper.
He's in a gown. He's got whitey tighties on. He is not prepared. He is like, Vince McMahon was not equipped or trained well enough to fight Stone Cold Steve Austin point blank, period. But he was also not equipped in this moment to at least run away, because he's in a gown. He's hooked up to oxygen. He's got a broken foot. And Steve Austin is just hammer fisting it, like just smashing it, and Vince is just screaming in agony until the most incredible, hilarious sound of all time, which is Stone Cold clanging Vince McMahon with a bedpan. It is the perfect sound.
You know what's disappointing though? He didn't hit him with a Stone Cold Stunner.
That is fair. I think
that would have boosted this from a 9 out of 10 clip to a 10 out of 10 clip.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
I know he didn't have the correct environment to do so, but
yeah. So, so he's just beating his ass. And the other thing is, he administers the shock paddles. And
true.
With reckless, he didn't say clear to let everybody else. Didn't say clear, which is to let everybody know, like, hey, don't touch this guy. We're going to jolt him with electricity. You never know. Somebody could have had their hand on him. Not good. The balloons all pop throughout this fight because they're getting ran over and stepped on, which is unfortunate. Yurple's hard work gone.
Justice for Yurple.
Unfair. Not nice there. I'm glad they brought her back for a different appearance. And then Vince gets bent over the bed, and Stone Cold says, "I'm gonna, we're gonna see how full of shit you really are, and trust me, this is gonna hurt you a lot more than it's gonna hurt me." And shoves something up Vince McMahon's bottom, and that's the end of it. That's the end of the segment.
It was a stethoscope, right?
Yeah,
I think it was the end of an IV tube.
Yeah, I think it was. He grabbed it thinking it was something else, like thinking it was the tube, the colonoscopy tube, but it was clearly connected to the IV bag. So he had an IV shoved up his ass.
He was just worried about it. He wanted to make sure he got his dose, you know?
That's
Well,
true.
I
He
don't
wanted
know.
to make sure he was all good.
I mean, to be fair, like your ass is way closer to your foot than it is in your your arm. So he
this
was
is
just being a little more efficient about it,
this
right?
is true. This is true. That's actually very true. Definitely a HIPAA violation. All over the place by Stone Cold. That's why he doesn't practice medicine anymore, or ever. I don't know if he ever was a doctor, but just incredible. Like I said, 9 out of 10 segment. The some of the funny like notes of this segment is when they were shooting this. This was all shot pre-recorded, the day of or the day before Monday Night Raw, and they're doing this all recording, and apparently what we got from the Mick Foley segment is the only take where nobody was laughing. Like, so I believe the story goes, while Stone Cold is there watching it happen in a different room, but like next to it or on the other side of the room, and they're watching it with the guy who was there to direct it, Bruce Pritchard, and they're just cackling at Mick Foley and Mankind's delivery of just everything. Like when he walks in, he's like, "Hey, here, I got you these balloons to cheer you up. That's good. Yeah, here, I also got you." But just like the rapid fire and just go, because by the end of, but apparently they did these takes where he delayed there to be like Vince to respond. And when they did that, Stone Cold, Bruce Pritchard, and other people would laugh. And it was like ruining the shot. So they're like, that's it. No more. Like, and Vince being very professional, I'm not going to laugh. God damn it. Just completely no sold the whole time was in when it was in character, quote unquote, because the Mr. McMahon character is Mr. McMahon. But like just 100% laughing. People are just laughing, and he's like, "Shut up! You're ruining the shot. Like, we'll be here all day. If that means we gotta be late to Raw tomorrow, we'll be late to Raw." It's like, good lord, just stop being so funny. But yeah, that segment is like lives on for multiple reasons. Being, it's hilarious. Mr. Sacco, the birthplace of Mr. Sacco, the first appearance of Yurple the Clown, and Stone Cold smacking Vince McMahon with a bedpan.
Bonk.
Just the perfect noise. I can't imagine there's ever been a better sound effect that happened naturally. Like, he legitimately clocked him across the head with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that sounded like it was one of those, like thought of like sound effects that they put at that point. That's how good it sounded.
Yeah, it was
Like that sound effect will be used for generations to come as the plonk sound, like that's it.
If I was to create a game, I would want to recreate that and get that sound where it's just clunk, because it's too good. It is just perfect. It is hilarious. I was smiling and laughing rewatching this a week ago when I was like, this is what we're gonna watch. I was smiling, laughing when we were watching. It's just a fun, like the part of wrestling where it's very outrageous. It doesn't work in wrestling. Like it only works in wrestling, and even then, it's like, yes, the owner of the company is holed up in the hospital, like protecting himself from his arch rival after his hired hitman broke his leg. Also, this deranged maniac who thinks he's his son, the owner's son, is trying to cheer him up and brings a clown. And then his arch rival shows up and hits him in the head with a bedpan. And it's like, what anime is this? Like, it's pro wrestling. Like, no, that's too complicated for pro wrestling. Like, no, it's not. It is very simple, very straightforward. Final thoughts from the two of you about the segment. Lukar?
It's a classic. I mean, I've seen it before, just like having been on the internet for a long time, but it is always funny to watch. It's chaotic, and like if you have no context of like wrestling, you watch it and you're just like, wait, what? This is hello? Who? What? Like, so I think it's just kind of like a fun, anybody can enjoy it, whether they like wrestling or not kind of thing, because it's just crazy, chaotic, featuring the living legend Stone Cold Steve Austin and living legend Mick Foley.
And or Humanity Mick, as he's been dubbed.
Humanity, Mankind Mick.
Humanity Mick. Still
God damn it. Look, all right.
Look, Humanity, Mankind, very similar. I understand. It's still funny. It is still funny. Cheese, you are somebody who doesn't really has no reference for professional wrestling. What was your final thoughts on the segment that you just watched?
It's one of my favorite things in life to do is to kind of experience someone else's passion or love for something through them kind of enjoying it. And it's the same thing here. Like whether it be, my friends bringing me to like a soccer game and I just going to a soccer game and they know all the players there, or whether it be like me, sitting my friend down and explaining all the esports stuff, or you explaining through all this wrestling stuff. Like I don't get a whole lot out of it, but what I get is through your experience of it, through you explaining it, you telling me the context, you being like, oh yeah, and it's this thing, and that lights me up, and I'm like, oh okay, cool, like my really good friend is getting into this, and I'm trying to understand it, and I love doing that kind of stuff. That's why I was really excited to come on this podcast.
Oh yeah, no, I'm glad to have both of you guys on. It's always fun to get new perspectives of people who are like, fresh-eyed to professional wrestling, where it's just like, yeah, that like doesn't make like it's like I've had people who go, I'm never watching wrestling again. Nothing will top this. But then I've had people who are like, I'm going to keep watching. Like I'm now going to start watching what's going on currently because I now see wrestling differently, and I'm like, cool, this is good. But no, it's always good to have fresh eyes, fresh perspective, to base off of like, all right, am I crazy for enjoying this thing that was like funny? Like I found this funny. Is this okay to find? Like, are we good? Am I like, maybe not so much nowadays. Like younger me would have absolutely been like, is it okay to like this wrestling? Like everybody's making fun of professional wrestling. I like it though. But
yeah, man, own what you like. And enjoy it. That's an important part of just being yourself,
That's right. We champion being yourself, owning the things you like, liking it. No kink shaming, unless your kink is harmful to anybody, including yourself, or illegal. Don't do that. I'm not going to shame you for it. You shouldn't do it because it's illegal or hurtful to others. That don't consent to it. I need to cover that. I'm getting better at covering the kink shaming. It's only been 4 years of saying no kink shaming is a way of life. Because people are like, well, what if kink shaming is my shaming? It's like you're into degradation. Like that's your kink. Your kink isn't kink shaming. Your kink is
As long as it's consensual between all parties involved, then so be it. But if you're doing that stuff where it's like people in like public doing stuff, like bruh, like. There's a time and a place, and when you're like walking down the street in a dog collar and you're like on all fours and like bondage gear, that's great. Do that, at home. But there's non-consensual parties.
Yeah. Have you ever seen that in real life?
I don't think I have.
Okay, all right.
And I've been to some crazy places. I've been to like San Francisco and Vegas and Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. What about you, Cheese? Have you ever seen some human dogs?
No, but I've seen dogs that definitely thought they were humans.
That's fair. That's different. Yeah.
Because I thought he was about to say I haven't seen them, but I've been
Yeah,
there.
I've seen one. I saw one this morning when I looked in the mirror. What do you mean? No, I saw one. I saw a couple in Philly. It was two couples in Philly.
Philly.
Yeah. I don't remember where, but I remember seeing them. They didn't go the full length of like walking on like the dogs being walked. Like they were leashed up, collared up, and their quote unquote handlers, their partners had the leash. But Yeah, not the full on like wearing the dog mask and crawling on like a dog and whatnot. So,
Personally,
some
I,
weird stuff.
I don't see what's wrong with that. I don't know.
Well,
No,
so
look,
what's wrong? No, there's nothing wrong with it. It's the
Yeah.
fact that if you're doing it in public, people in public can't consent to that. Like,
There'll be some people who will take it so far as like being a dog and going up to other people and sniffing other people like they're a dog.
For sure.
Because
like not
then
everyone
they get
can. Like, yeah.
because they want to be reprimanded because it's like reprimand me, my owner, and it's like, bro, I don't want to be sniffed. Like, please don't. Like, it's a matter of just respect other people's boundaries, you know, like and understand
Yeah, exactly.
that. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not if you're not respecting other people's boundaries, then that's a problem. But if you're like like I said, they were walking upright with collars on. I noticed that. I'm like, they're definitely into that whole dog thing. Good for them. I'm happy that they're happy. I can tell that they're happy. That's good. Yeah. Don't kink shame what people like, what they like to do, what hobbies they like to consume, unless it's anime. In which case, sorry, Lukar, it's anime, man.
Yeah, it's fine.
I'm
To
kidding.
be fair, I asked for Luke's Crunchyroll password. Quick.
I actually have to stop. Like because I got Crunchyroll a little bit ago to watch Dragon Ball Super, and then I never got around to watching it, and I don't want to watch it anymore. So like, I'm like, I don't really need Crunchyroll. I should probably get rid of it. Like, and it just keeps every month I go, I'm gonna cancel it immediately after I get told like, hey, you paid for it. I'm like, fuck. I think it's about like year 2 of. So I've had Crunchyroll for about 2 years. I just keep forgetting to. After this podcast, I'm gonna go and cancel my Crunchyroll subscription.
No, you're not.
You're right. I'm probably gonna go to sleep after this. So we talked a lot. There was a wide cast. My notes for this episode of how to sell this episode is all Nickelodeon guts talk. We got balloon talk, hospital stays,
Kink shaming,
the first ever live food review of Dorkside.
Let's go.
That was good, and just good. You know what? Most importantly, good chats. Good chats.
Yeah, brother man.
And that is what I'm about here on Dorkside. That's what the three of us are about. Because anytime, it's always good talking. Because even though like we're doing this for content, right? It doesn't. It doesn't feel like it. Like it just feels like.
I don't know. I'm honestly, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty content right now.
Oh, I see what you did there. That was a good one.
Come on, there's got to be at least
anyway,
one.
so
that
that's
was
it for
joke,
the
right?
dork side of
There's
the
gotta
ring.
be-
Time to end. Hit the end button right
One
now.
dad
It's
joke,
time
come
to
on.
end.
Let's send these people
No, but it was
home.
good, man.
Oh yeah,
It was good, man. Thanks for having me on. Thanks so much for doing this too. I'm just as a friend that's known you for a long time. I'm really proud of you for doing this, man.
Thanks,
Putting
bud.
this together, making it happen, putting your heart into it, going forward, and giving your all, man. I'm really proud of you.
They grow up
Thanks,
so
bud.
fast.
I know. Look at me. Baby's first content.
Yo, I'm serious. I'm serious though.
No, I
really
know
am.
you are, and I appreciate that. It means a lot because you know me. It's one of those. This is my soon TM,
man.
which will lead me to this Cheese. Before we go, remind the people where they can find you, where they can consume your content and your content, and what other projects you're working on.
All right, so I'm a guy that really likes coffee. Twitch.tv/Lukar14. You can find me there once every 6 months or so. Yeah.
And you play Minecraft Dungeons, right?
Yeah, there was like some Minecraft I played once. I died a lot on Abriatus on Bloodborne, blood level 4. Yeah.
Boy. Yeah, Lukar, how about you? You want to tell people where they can find you and what projects you're working on?
Hi, I'm Cheesewiz.
All right. Well, thank you guys for coming on the Dork Side of the Ring. I appreciate it.
We've all known each other for way too long. Like,
It's way too.
we can't not do this.
It's so good. Cheesewiz.
Oh, no.
We can find you on twitch.tv/Cheesewiz 3 or 4 times a week. Early afternoons EST. I want to say around like 2 p.m. Eastern. Roughly where you're streaming when you start streams. You can also find Cheese's passion project. His Dork Side of the Ring is not a podcast. His Dork Side of the Ring is a passion project by the name of SoonTM.com. If you are like the three of us and many people. Huh?
Soon.tm.
Soon.tm.
Oh, don't confuse people like that.
No, it's not. No, because I did that. I did that myself as I was like when I was talking about like I almost said soon.tm. No, SoonTM.com. If you are looking
.edu.
for .gov
It's funny. We actually looked at real quick. We tried to look at getting soon.tm, but it's actually Turkmenistan, something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
.tm, and it's this website of like I don't know. We tried reaching out and everything, but we couldn't get it.
That's unfortunate.
And .com is also way better. It's people just trust it a lot more if you have a .com afterwards. But yeah,
it is
SoonTM.com. Calendar for gaming. If you like games, you want to know when they come out, or want to browse some good stuff, or you forget when like Back for Blood or Kenna is coming out, or Halo Infinite, whatever it is. It's no ads, just a really good tool to help you keep track of when those games are popping out.
Yeah, if you've always wondered when a game comes out, SoonTM is going to be your go-to site. Don't Google it. Don't Google what games are coming out this month. You know what? This episode is dropping around right before Christmas time, or and Hanukkah and the holidays. If you're wondering what games are coming out or what games have come out, if you're looking for some stocking stuffers in the form of maybe like some Steam gift cards to buy games, go ahead, SoonTM.com. We'll have all your answers for this month, next month, the month after, the month prior, the months prior. Like, I think we go... Didn't somebody go back and put a game from 2005 on the calendar? Yeah.
Yeah, we got a few memes. We got one called Sticks and Stones, and it's like 100 BC.
Yeah. So, SoonTM.com for all your video game arrivals and updates. It'll be an industry standard, I'm sure of it. Lukar, you can find Lukar. Or you can also find Cheese on Twitter, Cheesewiz. That's W-I-Z at the end of it. That's his
Zed,
Twitter.
come on.
No, it's Z. It's all right, fine. W-I-Z. It doesn't feel right. It also doesn't sound right to me. No. And then Lukar, you can find Lukar at Lukar14 on Twitter. You can find Lukar on Twitch at twitch.com or twitch.tv/Lukar. Also, you can find Lukar's photography work. And I believe, are you for hire? I don't know. I don't want to pimp you out.
It depends.
It depends.
Yes, just say yes. What are we talking about? Just say yes.
I'm working on setting up a website to sell like art prints. But
there we go. All right. You can find Lukar's photography work and other things at El Nadu.
Yep.
Photography.
Nadeau.
There we go.
French.
Mr. Photographer with your Sony.
Oui.
Yes. Oui. Thank you guys for coming on. It was good to have you guys. I love you guys.
I freaking love you guys too.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. I can't wait. I'll have you guys on. I like the idea of putting everybody that's been in and shaking them up and then pairing them off with other people. So you guys will be back. Can't wait to see who I pair you guys with.
Oh boy.
Yeah. You should say "oh boy," because it can only get better from here. Because every episode gets better. Thank you guys. I love you guys.
Bye.
Much love, brother man.
There you have it, everybody. My friends Lukar and Cheesewiz. Fantastic, comedic gentlemen. Very funny. Just goofballs, That's it. When you get 3 goofballs in a Discord call and you talk about perfect bonking sounds of a bedpan hitting a man's across the skull, and just everything that followed. We're talking and also I've been to the hospital a lot of times for things, and so is Cheese, which is very funny. Which is just, it's one of those things like, oh, our friends. Also, remember, I can't stress this enough. Do not release your balloons into the air. Don't. You want to. It's fun to see them go away. I understand. Have a longer string, right? Tie a string to your hand. You don't need it. You don't need to be releasing balloons into the environment. Come on, be smarter. It's just one of those things of like, yes, this is a silly thing to really be upset about, but here's the thing. I'm allowed to have silly things, silly. I'm a silly guy. But thank you, Cheese. Thank you, Lukar, once again for coming on and having a good time. Also agreeing with me that we should not be letting balloons out into the environment all willy-nilly. Just suck the helium and reuse it. You're good. Next week's episode is a fun one. I believe it is. I believe actually that this is going to be Yes, this is the Thanksgiving episode. I was looking at it. This is the Thanksgiving episode. Next week is Thanksgiving, y'all. What the fuck? Well, 2 weeks if you're listening to this on Patreon, support.grumm.tv. And you can enjoy listening to next week's episode, or the Thanksgiving one, a week before Thanksgiving. You could listen to it, in theory, a literal week before Thanksgiving.